Why Galaxy Z Fold 6 caught my attention and why I was wrong about the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Initially, when I first saw the cover display on the Z Fold 6, I immediately noticed Samsung did the same mistake they did with the previous Galaxy foldables, and that is making a taller cover display similar to its predecessor. But when I look into details, then I found some interesting things which ends up changing my perspective for the Z Fold 6. Although it's not wider, but they did change the cover display. They removed the annoying bezel on the side, mostly because of the hinge which seems a bit old now. With that out of the way, Z Fold 6 gets a symmetrical bezels which makes Z Fold 6 the first Galaxy foldable to get it. Even more interesting, this also makes one of the best looking foldable phone in the market due to its sharp, boxier design and flat cover display with all four sides are equal. The sides, however, even gives you more premium feeling because now they are flat and gives you a better grip. These are some of the design aesthetics I liked about the Z Fold 6. Oh, I forget, the weight is significantly reduced. And you immediately notice if you're coming from any other older foldable phone, I mean the Galaxy Foldable. If you mostly go outside, the 2600 nits of peak brightness would come handy sometimes with little to no issues. Although most of the time people bother with the crease on Fold 6, and honestly I'm totally fine with it, as when we start using inner display you barely even notice. And being a foldable phone, the crease has to be there, but hinge design structure can increase the visibility or reduce it, and that's the reason OnePlus Open Crease is better because of having a different hinge design. The reason for going with the Galaxy Foldable is not only because the availability, but also how software is optimized with the Z Fold 6, and there's little to no issues with the software. Although there was a guy who shared his experience with the OnePlus Open, and he faced a couple of issues with app opening and crashing. You shared your experience in the comments also, but he switched from OnePlus Open to the Z Fold 6 and now he's totally satisfied. No one talks about this, but this is actually a big plus for the Galaxy foldable phones. The one wish I have when I saw the cameras, please Samsung update these cameras. Interesting enough, they changed it, but only the design, not the internals. This is not the best camera system we have on a $2000 phone. If you want one, S24 Ultra is still a better option for cameras. We have the same 50 megapixel main shooter, 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 10 megapixel telephoto sensor. It's decent photos but not exceptionally well. Yes, they did add an option for 4K 120 FPS which comes handy if you like making some slow-mo videos with your phone, and it was possible with the new processor Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Honestly, I was a little bit worried about the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for the Fold 6 because it is a powerful processor and there's a chance of heating, but when Samsung launched the phone, they mentioned to include a bigger vapor chamber, and I would say this was Samsung's best decision to control heating issues on Fold 6, just like what they did with the S24 Ultra, and putting into test, there is no heating issues with the Z Fold 6. Fold 6 when it comes to durability is on top, with no other foldable phone offers such features. In my last 1 week video, I shared this news. There was a guy who broke his phone Z Fold 6 within 24 hours just by trying out different cases on it. But in that same video, another guy has a hard luck with his Z Fold 6, but he actually dropped the phone. Apart from this, the phone is actually going good so far with no issues. I shared these incidents just to let you know, guys, don't do these things to your Galaxy Foldable. Although when I compare with the S24 Ultra, I was not happy about Samsung doing unfair game with the Z Fold 6. When we talk about foldable phones, there was always a major concern for the durability. But Galaxy S24 Ultra, being a usual candy bar phone, is much more durable compared to the Z Fold 6. And I have numbers to prove it. We wanted dust proofing on Z Fold 6, but it never happened. Samsung gave us IP48 rating for water resistance and above 1 meter dust particles, but Galaxy S24 Ultra on the other hand came with the IP68 both water and dust resistance. The inner display is where things got changed, and we all know. They come up with the UTG ultra thin glass on Fold 6, which is 50% thicker compared to the previous generation. Still, it is way less durable compared to the S24 Ultra, and the concern usually starts at the black line and inner display damage issues. Although with the thicker UTG, the chances are reduced, but still, it's a foldable phone. Also, people are most curious about the number of folds on Fold 6. Samsung claimed 200,000, but they also claimed a life of around 10 years. That's a big claim, and usually, foldable phones show signs of end within 2 to 3 years. The major part played by inner display screen protector, which started losing its strength, and when you fold your previous foldable, that screen protector tend to damage your inner display. Also, I am not impressed with the Samsung going with the older glass on the front of a Z Fold 6. Yes, Samsung put Gorilla Glass Victus 2, same as Z Fold 5 from last year. But S24 Ultra came with a Gorilla Glass armor which is 4 times scratch resistant compared to the Victus 2. And not only this, the anti-reflective coating is another plus for the S24 Ultra. Obviously, if you don't care much about your phone, it is better to go with the candy bar phone than to look for the foldable phone. Z Fold 6 being a foldable phone didn't impress with its battery life. Back then, I had high hopes for the better battery life, but it turns out to be same. Reason? Samsung put the same battery 4400, and when they didn't increase the battery, they also stick with the same charging speed 25 watt. For Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, the battery is really small, especially if you use the inner display, but Samsung manages it really well. And on a low to medium usage, you can get around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time, and you can stretch this battery life number with the light performance mode. But when everything is turned on, you will get around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time and barely last a full day. Now remember, if you guys are comfortable with the Z Fold 5 battery life, it's exactly same. Even I have the battery test to share it with you. The second test was done by another fellow YouTuber, Ben from Lover of Tech. And I have to say, he tested the battery of the Z Fold 6 in a right way against the other two phones, Z Fold 5 and Google Pixel Fold. Among these, Pixel packs a much bigger battery, 4800. Now he started 1 hour of test on TikTok, half an hour for cover display and the other half on inner display. The results are Fold 6 was at 87%, Fold 5 was at 85%, and the Pixel Fold was at 86%. Moving on to the second test, same 1 hour but on Instagram Reels. Fold 6 was at 72%, Fold 5 was at 71%, and Pixel was at 67%. If you notice or not, both Fold 6 and Fold 5 are having a similar battery performance, which shouldn't be a surprise for us. Till now, we are 2 hours in. Now the third hour is with the Instagram Live. Fold 6 was at 51%, Fold 5 was at 52%, and Pixel was at 45%. Now the fourth hour is with the YouTube with the same combination of cover and inner display. Fold 6 was at 32%, Fold 5 was at 33%, and Pixel was at 25%. In the fourth hour, Fold 5 performed best among other two devices. The fifth hour is with the YouTube Music where Fold 6 was at 15%, Fold 5 was at 16%, and Pixel was at 7%. Fold 6 and Fold 5 performed exactly same in this fifth hour. Now the sixth hour is with the Twitter Space. Fold 6 was at 4%, Fold 5 power off at 5 hours and 56 minutes, and Pixel power off at 5 hours and 23 minutes. After this, 4K video recording. And Fold 6 gave us 6 hours and 4 minutes of complete average screen on time aka battery life in this test. Slight improvement over Z Fold 5 and performed really good compared to the Pixel Fold. Obviously, it's an older generation and packs an older processor. Z Fold 6 is a good phone, and if you're waiting for a Z Fold 6 Ultra, then please don't. It's a special edition model and will only launch in 2 countries, China and South Korea. And if you're willing to update, choose wisely because Pixel 9 Pro Fold is around the corner. With that said, if you find value from this video, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Till then, peace out.